morning and welcome to another episode of the Time Pressured Extreme Day Hiker. It's July 7th, 2010 and we're at the top of Mount Mitchell, North Carolina. The elevation is approximately 6,500 feet here. We're going to try and do a 14-mile hike and Stella's real excited. The weather's good. Let's see how it goes. I think the hike started out really good. I mean, everything came together well. Got there on time, found the place, I found the trailhead. The trail's a little bumpy here, huh? The deep gap trail was fine. It was in really good repair, and in fact, it had just been weed whacked, and it was very easy going. And there are plenty of turns. There's the summit of Mount Mitchell there, and that's 20 minutes in to the Mount Craig plaque. Here we are at the summit of Big Tom. And we're about 27 minutes into our hike at Big Tom. Day and night can lose all meaning in these woods. The tree cover can get so dense. Here we are at the intersection with Big Tom Gap Trail. We're going to continue on to the north on Deep Gap Trail. We're passing through the Balsam Cone area on our way to Cattail Peak. It's an hour and 10 minutes in, and here we are at Cattail Peak. We'll take our first little water break. I must admit it's going a bit slower than I thought it would. We're only making about a 1.5 mile an hour pace, which could make this a very long hike today. Well, we've just made the turnoff onto the Yellow Blaze Trail, which is Colbert Ridge. And it is a, much more poorly maintained trail, I'll tell you that much. It's all you can do to hike it and not kill yourself. Well, this Colbert Ridge Trail, or Colbert River Trail, is a different animal than the Deep Gap Trail. I have already stepped into holes and almost broke my kneecap off. I have fallen, I've tripped. It is difficult. This is actually a decent stretch of trail here, Colbert Ridge Trail. Well, we've come to a nice vista. It's really hot. I'm thirsty. I brought 4 bottles of water, which should be enough until we get down to the bottom of this trail, and there should be some water down there, so I think we're going to be okay. The Colbert Ridge Trail was a mess. There was trees down and a lot of workarounds, but still made it right through down to the road. Taking a much needed water break here. Still hasn't come up for air yet. Is that good water? Yeah. There's some cool fungus. It's got a branch growing through it. Finally, 3 hours and 51 minutes, and we're coming out on Colbert Creek Drive. And it feels good. Certainly not the end of our hike for today, but man, I hear water. I can see taking a nice break. Took a break here at a little stream. Thought we'd pump some water and have some lunch. And of course, Stella seizes the opportunity to find a nice mossy rock to rest her chin. She's tired. In what's feeling more like an episode of The Fugitive than a day hike, after our short break we continue our hike along the road. But when it came to finding the bridle path, I must have wasted an hour and a half looking around for it and not finding it. Eventually I did find it. At least, tired though I may be, it's a nice, open, smooth trail. So it's pretty easy hiking from that point of view, even though it's going to be up 3,000 feet. So we took the bridle path and we made it all the way down for about, I think maybe 2 miles to a stream crossing, and then all of a sudden there was no more bridle path. There was a walking trail and it ended up back on somebody's driveway and it took me back to the road. And I was very frustrated and hot, and Stella was very tired. Well, we both were. So the only solution then was to hitchhike back. And fortunately, it only took a few cars before I did find a ride, and a really nice guy took me all the way back to Mount Mitchell Park, 16 miles, and I was very grateful about that. Well, this is going to wrap it up. So what happened is, we got on that bridle trail, and then next thing you knew we were back on the road. So we hiked out and got a ride from a UPS driver, and then we hitchhiked and got a really nice ride for 15 miles back to Mount Mitchell, back to the car. And so even the time-pressured extreme day hiker messes up sometimes. So you see, sometimes you have to work a trail from both ends to find out where it comes together. That's happened to me before, and I'm sure it's happened to other hikers. So next time maybe I'll work my way down the bridle path from the top and see where it comes out at the bottom. So until next time, thank you for watching another episode of the Time Pressured Extreme Day Hiker. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned to have a backup plan. Thank you very much. Bye. Anyways, it was a good hike and good weather, and we had fun.